Politicians, celebrities, and probably every single person you know at your university or work is talking about climate change. Here's the truth. What's up, guys? This is Will Witt with PragerU. Today I'm in the beautiful area of Moab, Utah. As you can see, we got the great Colorado River behind us and these fantastic rocks, and I felt inspired to make a video about climate change being here today, and wanted to basically tell you guys a few things about what's actually going on with this issue, right? Because you're going to hear politicians promise that they want to help save the environment. It's their #1 issue, right? You hear it all the time. But when it comes to actually saving the environment or saving the planet, politicians and government bureaucrats are probably the worst people to do that. Look at the EPA. Just a few hours from here in Durango, about 3 years ago, the EPA spilled 1 million gallons of waste into the Animas River. Totally, it was an environmental disaster. This is the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, who did this. And think about how they handle the money, right? Look at Germany and how they have an energy crisis because they tried to switch away from fossil fuels and all of that and just use green energy, solar and wind. But then when the winter came around, they realized the sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow, and energy costs in Germany went way up. And then look at America, under the Obama administration, with a company like Solyndra that spent $500 million on research for solar power and went bankrupt and did nothing, right? This is what happens when you let government officials handle the environment. And even, by the way, when we're talking about major countries who are polluting the ocean and polluting the world, America doesn't even come close as to one of those top countries. And I totally believe in climate change. A lot of people give me flack for it. I think it's real. I think that sea levels have been rising faster once the Industrial Revolution started, and I think that humans play a part in this. Even though the climate has always been changing, there are things that we as humans can do. But here are a few things that you might not know. When Al Gore said that polar bears were going to be extinct by this time, there are actually more polar bears now than when Al Gore made those claims. Or did you know that there are actually more trees in the Northern Hemisphere than there were 100 years ago? There are already so many things that are going on in America and across the world to help the environment. Things aren't getting nearly as bad as your politicians want you to believe. The free market sector is where the environmental solutions will come from. I was just watching this video the other day that these people took trash and they turned it into disposable cutlery for people to buy, plates and forks and stuff. And that's the free market with an environmental solution. Or think about the flash drive, which was not invented by some government agency, but was invented by the free market and has saved millions of trees because you no longer have to carry papers around. You can put your files on a little hard drive. Just the other day I heard one of the greatest stories about the free market helping climate change that I think I've ever heard. It was about a company that made stoves for third world countries. If you didn't know, 4 million people die every year from respiratory diseases from stove smoke in these third world countries. And so this company basically made stoves that didn't emit nearly as much smoke and helped save lives, and then they sold it to these people in third world countries. So the people at this company were actually able to sell the stoves to these people in these poor third world countries for less than they were able to make it. And they could then sell carbon credits to wealthy investors to invest in the company. This is why they were able to do that. And also the workers who were making these stoves were people in Africa who were then getting job experience and being able to gain skills. And so this company, one company, has helped eliminate smoke from the environment, given people jobs, saved lives, and made people money, all at the same time. This is what the free market can do. You don't find this kind of innovation within the public sector, within the government, because they don't know how to spend your money as well as you do. And another example is Ecosia, which is a search engine similar to Google, and they use all their ad revenue that they make off of the search engine to then go plant trees across the world. This is a beautiful thing. This is a free market. This is capitalism at work, saving the environment. And so you guys are going to see all these politicians and celebrities talk about saving the environment while they ride around their private jets, basically polluting the environment and virtue signaling to get your votes and for you to get them to love them. But there are real practical solutions that business people across the world are doing that we should be focused on and that we should be pursuing ourselves if we really care about helping the environment. So if you want to protect a beautiful place like this, Moab, all the other places in America that need to be preserved, that have beautiful animals and landscape and wildlife, think about the free market the next time you think about climate change. I know that that is the best solution to doing anything to save this planet. Will Witt for PragerU, thank you.